Well, guys, this is Chris, Commander Allen, and we're finally done with all this Knicks. So, please should be quiet for a little while. I think we'll kick back with a little drink, hit up the interwebs, and just chill for a while. So Jerry Nix hasn't even hit shelves yet, and apparently somebody's already spoiled the contents of From the Vault Annihilation. Now this set doesn't even come out to the end of August, so some people believe this is the real deal, some people don't. I'm kind of in the camp that is very skeptical whether this is real or not, but for the sake of our argument, we'll just go ahead and play along as if it is. Now, there's a lot of cards that's been added in here, and here's the supposed picture of what the guy had. It was in two pieces, so I just kind of pieced it together. And, this is what we got. So, you guys can be the judge for it. We'll run down what they've got in here, and I'll give you some ideas about what I think should have been in here and what shouldn't have been. So, first up, we got Decree of Annihilation. Now, this card was going to be in here but just because it had Annihilation in the name. And this is one of the cards I really hate to see played in EDH. It will get played in EDH, but, it's not a fun card. Destroying all lands isn't fun, and removing all lands, artifacts, creatures, and all that stuff from the game, that isn't fun. There's nothing like being in a good game, and then all of a sudden, things just screech to a halt because some butthole wants to play this card. People like to play it. That's their thing. I'm not a big fan of these. Now, Armageddon is included in this. It's a card it's been printed a lot. It's had several different pictures, but it's a classic card, and it deserves to be in here for that. Honestly, I would have rather had Ravages of War, but, I understand Armageddon's in here for that reason. And just like Armageddon's in there, we also have Wrath of God. Thankfully, there's the new art, which I've already went over that. But Wrath of God, that's a classic, iconic card. That deserves to be in here, too. Now, these aren't high-dollar cards, and that's fine. We understand that. But these are cards that one would expect to be in there. Now, for all the people who play EDH, Child of Lara is a pretty interesting deck. So, getting extra copies of this, especially foil form, with the new foiling process is going to be pretty cool. So, this is a pretty good inclusion, I think. Cataclysm. I haven't really played this card since Exodus, back in that time when we played White Weenie, and you'd use this and keep out a creature, a land, and Imperial Armor. I've heard people say they played in some of their legacy decks. I haven't seen anybody use this in EDH. It's a cool card from before. I'm not sure if this one should have been included or not, but it is what it is. Living Death. This one shows up all the time in EDH. It's a fun build-around card. And I think there's a judge foil, and this will be the first time that there's a non-judge foil. So, because this card has never been reprinted, in any set that isn't like a special edition set or anything. So, it's pretty cool to have this back. Smokestack is one of the most annoying cards to play against ever. I don't exactly know why it's included in this set. It does have like an Annihilation theme, but it's really like sacrificial, not really. I can't see it as being an Annihilation type spell, but it is, according to this list, it's in this set. I'm sure some people will build around it. It's not really fun in EDH, as people don't like to generally sacrifice all their stuff, and you'll probably get hated on really quickly. I know in Legacy, every once in a while, a Stacks deck will come up, but it really hasn't seen a lot of play in years and years and years. Terminus is a great inclusion for people who want to get a foil copy of this card for their EDH deck. Miracle was an interesting mechanic, and this thing tucks generals, and tucking generals in EDH is fantastic. So glad to see this card in there. You know, again, it's not a big money card, but it is one that people would definitely like. And especially since it's going to have the premium foil, it's going to look super nice. I'll probably pick up 3 or 4 copies of just this card alone because I use it in every deck that has white in it. Now, Roland Earthquake. Now, this is a card I can get behind. I've wanted this card for so long. I just didn't want to plop down $100 for it. And the only reason it's expensive is because, you know, English edition Portal 3 Kingdom is just a really rare set in general because nobody bought it because nobody really wanted it. You couldn't use it anywhere. And since the inclusion of adding it to Legacy and the fact that it's in EDH, has really drove up the value of this card. Now, like I said, I'm really excited this one came back. I would love to see Ravages of War in this set, but I'll definitely take Roland Earthquake. It's really cool. I mean, it hits all players and it hits all creatures without horsemanship. So virtually everything in the format. Eventually, you know, there'll be a couple times when there'll be 1 or 2 creatures that you just can't kill because somebody's got a couple of horsemanship. But other than that, this thing is it's a really good, and I'm really glad that they included it. So, would have liked to see Ravages of War, as I said before, but you know. It is what it is. And that brings us to yet another white removal spell or white mass removal spell in this set. There seems to be a lot of them. But Martial Coupe, it's a really great spell in EDH. I use it quite a bit. You can use it in any deck. It doesn't have to be a token themed deck. But any deck that wants to wipe the board and leave you with a little bit of board position at the same time, Martial Coupe's fantastic for that. It's so easy to sink in 5+ mana into the X. So this is definitely one, if you haven't picked this card up before, it's one that you're going to want in your EDH deck. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's where at least the worthwhile stuff for me stops in this set. What comes next is just pure and utter crap. But I'll let you guys decide for that. Okay, really? How does this happen? How do you pick these cards? What the heck went on in that conversation?
Mr. Rosewater, here's the book of utter crap you asked me to bring for you.
Excellent. Now, we need to pick some cards in here since I am the DCI. And we need to pick some good ones. So, how about Upheaval for Legacy? That's a good one. Let's give, yeah, there we go. Fire Spout. That should fix Modern all on its own. So, we'll go with that. But I just don't know what to give those EDH players. I know how they love those awesome cards.
Mr. Rosewater, it'd sure be nice if you'd put Virtue's Ruin in there. I absolutely love that card in EDH.
Excellent choice. EDH players will just eat that up. And since I'm feeling so generous today because I am the DCI, let's go ahead and put Burning a Sinai in there too, because I know how people love their functional reprints of Wildfire. Man, that card was awesome.
Really, Wizards? Really? Fire Spout? Upheaval? Virtue's Ruin? What the hell were you thinking? I mean, sure, there's no damnation in here because you wanted Wrath of God. I get that. That's fine. There's no Ravage of War, which I personally would have loved to have because there's Armageddon in here. And that's fine too because those are classic, iconic Magic cards. And you know, Upheaval had its day, but it means absolutely jack squat anymore because you can't play it in any format except for Legacy. And you can't use it there. So if you're going to put a Legacy card in there, why the hell did you not put Wasteland in here? For God's sakes. That's all I wanted, Wizards. Put a freaking Wasteland in the box. And all of a sudden, it's the best product ever. That's all it is. That's the magic. Put the Wasteland in the box. So, to add a little financial value to this set, Wizards gave us Burning a Sinai, which is basically just a functional reprint of Wildfire, which sees absolutely no play. So instead of giving us something like, I don't know, Wasteland like I just went on about, we get this. I understand that it's in there because they want to add some value to it, but it doesn't really play anywhere. I don't see anybody using this in EDH. I don't see anybody using this in Legacy and Classic. So this right here is just as bad as the other cards I mentioned. But I guess they all can't be winners. And like I said, we don't even know if this set is really real or not. This could just be a farce. We'll have to wait and see. Who knows? It might be the real deal. It might not be. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like us on Facebook. This is Chris with Commander Allen. We'll be back with another video shortly.